To finish our series of dances that were freestyle, lead, and follow, I wanted to finish on Friday with something that was pretty much guaranteed success. Easy, with just about everyone it will be successful. In fact, literally everyone. This is shadow position. Angela and I will show you just briefly what the shadow position is. It's this position. You might know it also as Varsuvien. Some people call it sweetheart position. It has many other nicknames. It can be on either side, is equally comfortable. So once you're in shadow position, if we were doing cross-step waltz, our rear foot would be free. We would just go forward. 1. The follow side slip, she slips in front. 1, 2, and the lady in front the other way. So that's the easy one. To get into it, we use something we already had from the week. He goes, she goes. The rule pretty much is to transfer her right hand from his left hand into her right in some way or another. This time it'll be after an underarm turn, then that transfer. This is how it goes. And 1, 2, straight. 1, she turns. 1, 2, change hands, and there she is on the left side. That could have also been almost the same thing. 1. But at the very end, he could cross trails behind her back and end up on her left side. So we did both in class. Here's a minor difference. The wheel is wheeling around like this, but that blocks traffic. So rather than banning that step, making it illegal, we know that about 20 or 30 other steps also stop in place. Steps you've taught at Stockton before. So rather than saying don't stop, we'll say be careful of those ahead of you. Don't tailgate another couple. And if you're going along the shadow position and all of the couple right in front of you stops with the wheel, you'll simply split around them. He splits. And then catch your partner again. Now, if you want to do that, give your partner that reassuring look as you separate that you're still with them so they don't think it's rejection. Oh my God, what did I do? He threw me away. But just maintain contact with your eyes. You may end up going around 2 or 3 couples before you finally get together. So those are the easy variations we did. Side slips and the wheel and the splits. Then we had variations where in shadow position, the woman would turn to her right and still face forward. If the hands end up at shoulder height, then he can get his left hand up out of his way and pass in front of her. Now notice he traveled. This is not that rather awful ballroom dance, the Turkish towel, where he wipes her with his back with her. So he doesn't bring her by, but he moves. There, it's polite. Then she can turn to the right. His left hand will pull forward as his right hand raises. She might still be at his left side. Then she can slip past in front. But most people, as I watch dancing at contra dances, country, western, folk dancing, this vernacular tradition, what I see is parts 3 and 4 are combined into 1. So with the rear foot free, we're going to do a basic first, and then she turns, and 40 under, and then both at the same time, she turned and passed in front of him for that third figure. That's very commonly done. Then we had a variation of the same thing. After he turns her under, the hands are low, and she's holding on him like the reins of a horse. That would mean he's the horse. He leads her in and then out the other way. So the hands are in front of her. The whole time you, of course, are doing walking steps. Now, one of the beauty of all of these variations is you can waltz with someone who says they don't know how to waltz. Maybe they don't know how to do a turning waltz, but if they can walk, they can do these. So rather than starting with a cross-step waltz or a rotary waltz and getting into it, you can just start here. It makes no difference. Let's say Angela started on her right foot and my right foot. Even that makes no difference. All of these figures work. Then we had one related figure. It's not quite shadow, but it's another walking figure in a unique position. It's wrap. Some people call it cradle. Some call it cuddle. Normally it's done 2 hands. From 2 hands, he leads her in like that. Now, no man will just absolutely stay anchored in place and pull her in and romp like that. He will go part way towards her. Well, therefore, what's better? He goes all the way around her. She stays facing the same direction, and that is a walk-around wrap. It can happen while you are traveling. So there's how it looks from a cross-step waltz. Basics first, just to get going. 1, 2, 3, 2, and there's the wrap. From here you can stay there. You can unwind into shadow position. Just changing the hands over the top of her head. Exits from these are wait until the last bit of music and let her do a free spin. So that means 3 walks forward with the rear foot, 1, 2, spin, 4, 5, you can catch your partner. We did a fancy variation called a face loop. It's almost the same thing. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Watch that from a different angle. The face loop exit, rear foot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exit from there. Another beauty of these figures is they can begin on either foot, from the rear foot with cross-step waltz, or with the normal old man's left, lady's right of a rotary waltz. All of the figures work. All of these figures work. There are some advanced figures in which you both have to be on the same foot. That requires a foot fudge. We did easy ones on our last day. So here's a rotary waltz. 1, 2, and an underarm turn. 1, 2, changing hand. Just like before, he changed hands over the top of her head. Everything else is the same. Maybe we can do the track 7, the other one. For the waltzing, we'll demonstrate these as a rotary waltz. Music.